Hello, everybody. Good evening here in India and good afternoon for Honorable Ma'am. On behalf of the organizing committee of Shri Kumarswami College, Ausa, and this international e-conference, I would like to welcome all the honorable dignitaries and participants here at the virtual platform. The topic of today's international e-conference is Executive Personal Branding. The college, Sri Kumarswami College, Ausa, is affiliated to Swami Ramanand Tirth Marathwada University, Nanded. The college conducts number of innovative activities for the benefit of its stakeholders and also organizes regular webinar series, national and international conferences. The reason behind it is to exchange knowledge among the intellectuals, students, teachers, researchers. The webinar series and international conferences are going on very smoothly and continuously without any break. And it is due to the chief organizer, Honorable Principal Dr. M. Ambedkar, sir. We also have the strong support from our institution, the Sri Kumarswami College, Ausa. Today, I welcome you, sir, as the chairperson of this international e-conference. I am very glad to welcome today's honorable keynote speaker and chief guest, Ozzin ma'am from Zurich, Switzerland, as the keynote speaker on behalf of the organizing committee of International E-Conference and Sri Kumarswami College, Ausa. I heartily welcome you, ma'am, as the chief guest. I also welcome today's session chair, Dr. Anju Gandhi, ma'am, from Fatehabad, Haryana. All delegates are welcome here. And before the actual commencement of the keynote speech by the speaker, I would like to invite Honorable Principal Dr. M. Ambedkar, sir, for his opening speech. Please, sir, welcome. Welcome. Thank you, sir. Now, as the chairman of this international conference has said that the delegates are very eager to listen the keynote speech by the speaker. So I do not want to spend much time in between the speaker and the audience. And I invite the chief guest for the keynote address. Please, ma'am, welcome.
Thank you so much. Well, I'm so excited to be here and so honored to give you the keynote. And as already mentioned today, I'm going to give you some insights on how you can nail your personal branding and create more pathway for monetization. For those who don't know me yet, my name is Auzzin from Switzerland, and I've been working over the past year with different coaches, consultants, and entrepreneurs, helping them either from scratch to get to their first 10, 20K per month, or scaling other advanced entrepreneurs to multiple 6-7 figures. And the way I do it is to help them their brand positioning, especially with executives, business owners at high end. And the other way is through strategic social media strategies. I help them to create more monetization as a business owner to be more efficient. So the way I started all my journey, so you get the context of my story, is that in the beginning, when I started, I had no focus, no clarity, and I did multiple different things. And as an entrepreneur, maybe you're at the stage where you really know what your thing is, you have your product and service. And for some of you, maybe you're still figuring some things out, and that's totally okay. So from me, going really in 2021 all in my coaching business the first time, that all led me to results making in 8 months 6 figures in cash, which was mind blowing. I couldn't imagine back then. And in June of 2023, I got nominated as the best business mentor in Dubai from the royal family and the Women Leadership Awards. And since then, I've been featured in 190 publications, Times Square in New York. I've been on live radio and TV. And most importantly, it's not just the money, but the transformation it reflects in many people's lives. It's the monetary results I could see in people, as well as they are more fulfilled in their relationship, better health. And again, I think entrepreneurship, it's more about teaching people how to have a perfect personal branding or sell programs, but it's about you creating a mind-blowing life that you are really happy about. And that's the core work. And all of these great highlights, it's easy to compare all of my highlights with someone else who's just starting out. So in the beginning, when I started with 6-figure in debt, that was really the moment where I was financially under a lot of pressure. And, financial pressure, it impacts your mental well-being and all of that. So I was back then having no purpose, no focus. I was very shy. I was literally scared to be on camera and holding like conferences like this. I used to eat like whole chocolate bars out of nervousness before something starts. And from this moment, even when you're an introvert, you're able to speak on global stages and do masterclass and find a way that really suits you. So over the next few minutes, I will break down some of the mindset shifts that I did and the tools that you can also use on how I go from 6-figure debt into 6-figure months in profit in business. And I'm also going to share you the 4 most common mistakes that business owners do that cost them over 100K per month. And the last thing is, I'm going to share you the 2 typical mistakes that many people make that doesn't get them clients, and also how you can fix it. So starting with number 1, it's always the mindset. That it's something that many people are tired to hear, but there is never such thing as like the finished evolution of a mind. And the first thing is really the clarity. The reason why many people and business owners are overwhelmed is because they feel overwhelmed, and that comes from lack of clarity. And in the beginning, what helped me is really to zoom out, because at the start, I only typed in Google, living, with my mom. My parents are divorced, so I only live with my mom. And although maybe you guys heard in Switzerland, we have great nature, great living standards, but I was not raised in a rich family. So I still see my family, or even my Korean mother, because my original background is actually from Korea, working really hard. And that made me so sad, seeing my parents and family working so hard for paycheck after paycheck. And I knew there must be something where I can help out and break out and be the first millionaire in my family. And that's where I started to Google, how can I make money? And I didn't care how. It was just like I needed to find some ways. But then I started in digital marketing. I did e-commerce, trading. I just jumped into everything that you can try. But at some point I was frustrated because it was not fulfilling me. And this is where I always say to people, you have to pragmatically try things in order to know, because when you think, it's never the same when you do it practically. And once you have your focus, then always lead with courage. When you don't have confidence, you got to do something without confidence first. And when you do it, you get small wins. And the small wins, they lead to bigger wins. And this is how you create consistent confidence. So the more you stick to your little commitments and you do it, it's like this is how you get more confidence coins, so to say, in your account. So to make an example, whether it's for you first time going live on Instagram, Facebook, or in LinkedIn, or the first videos that you do, I had a lot of stupid reason why I held back. I didn't have a professional camera. I was shy showing up. I didn't feel ready for my first events and all of that. But back then I had a very good friend of mine, and he said, "Hey, Ozzin, you're so good in, doing these events and speaking. Let's do a master class." And this is where he created Fly for me, and he set the date and said, "You're going to do a masterclass then." And I was freaking out. I was like on a vacation with my mom in Monte Carlo, but I still did it. And the outcome has been crazy. The first masterclass I did generated $43,000 in 90 minutes from an online class. And I was just starting out. And I'm not saying that to all the people, you have to make instantly that much of money. But the thing is, you never know what your actions will lead when you never do it. Like, you got to do something with courage, and you choose that discomfort every single day. So again, every time you're scared, remember that you can start small and then start doing more of the bigger things, and you will see more of the things evolving, not being in your head, but do the actions based to get the results. And number two, what I did in terms of mindset shift was I shifted from I have to do it all by myself. I mean, who here thinks I have to figure it all those things by myself out? And we know that when we start a business, you wear multiple hats at the same time. But the thing is, I had to change this belief to, you know what, I'm going to hire a mentor and work with someone who already has the success that I want. And it's something cliche that you hear a lot, but I can just testify from my own results that this was for me the life changer in all of the things, because it's similarly like if you can take the boat or you can take the plane. The boat is like you're doing it all by yourself and you're rowing in more pain. It takes you more time and energy. Or you can take the plane and then you go way faster, cut the learning curve, and you have proven system from someone who has done it. And and this is where my broke version of I cannot afford it, I don't have money, I can't do it, what if I don't get the results, had to change to how can I get resourceful, how can I make it work, how can I get to that money, and I will succeed. Like, it's just this beliefs that I have to change and say, I have to ask for support. And that's what I did. And the next thing, after I invested into my first mentor, I scratched the last things together in terms of money, juggling jobs, asking my mom for a little help. She didn't have much, but I scratched all my money together I could, invested, and I went all in. And the third thing is really my personal power. You can have the best branding. And I know that when it comes to executive branding, a lot of people talk on strategies. For me, it's very easy to give everyone a strategy and tell them this is the way to go. But success is like fajitas. You need multiple ingredients and everyone has a little bit different of the fajitas, of the foods. So it's like your belief system matter. And sometimes your skill set matter. If you don't have the right skills, it's not going to work. But you also need the strategies, the leadership behind that. And that's why copying other people doesn't work. Because what I say, what someone else say, doesn't hit in the same way in embodiment. And that's why it's really about what is your trademark that makes you differently, and how can you base your leadership not on circumstances. The reason why a lot of people struggle, and that is the mindset thing, is that they only show up when they feel in their power. And the problem is, consistency in business is so important. But when you think and you wake up in the day and you think, I don't feel like it, it's going to be not consistent for your business. So I always say, you can choose the way you sell. Live streams, you can do videos, you can do a lot of posts. But I always make it to a duty to sell and to make offers. And this is based on no matter how I feel. It's not like I make only an offer so people buy, but it's, can you also show up when you get no's? Can you also show up when there is no buyer for the first 2-3 months? So the staying power is so crucial. And this is where you can start really to get great results. And the last thing, apart from the staying power and activating your personal power, is to be really bold. And when you're bold, I really mean to say the things without fluff. You know, the things that is really hard to say. And we all have a story that we share. And I always say, your mess is your message. But the problem is, when we tell stories, there might be parts where you leave out certain things. You know, like you are scared to say certain things. There are parts of the story that we feel ashamed for. And my example was, I was ashamed telling the people that 4 years ago that I was raped, abused, and I got kidnapped. And this is nothing business related. It's a personal story, but it obviously impacted my life a lot. And the judgment around that felt scary. The fact that I was 6-figure in debt, that was scary. And the thing is, you can choose what you want to share, but depending on your services, if the offer that you do, for example, a fitness coach or someone who had literally big health issues, but you found a way to be more healthy, maybe this transformation story will be so crucial for you to impact others. So, you know, in January 2023, I got a message from a lady on Instagram saying she wants to kill herself, and she was in a toxic relationship. I really got so shocked, and I was shocked that so many people are, you know, like going through abuse and things. And this is where I shared in Kensington Palace in England my story the first time public. And all of that, it is part of my personal brand. It's not just Ozzin, she's that business mentor, but it's like, hey, I'm like this title of what I'm doing. I cannot summarize it into one title. You know, you guys see on LinkedIn, everyone has like 10,000 titles, like best-selling author, speaker, coach, mom, dad, you know, and they're endless. But we are more than that. So it's like, be intelligent using a title that represents what you do, but also know you're not married to your title. You got to start somewhere, and you know you're more than that. That's why I started to see my brand as more holistic. Like Aussien June stands for the business. I help these people, but I'm also this person that represents women empowerment, and I speak on rape, abuse, prevention on abuse. But I know my main focus of the business. So don't be scared to get out there, to get started with content. Now, I'm going to break you down the next 4 things that business owners do that cost them over 100K per month and that you can avoid. The number one thing when it comes to personal branding is skill confusion, meaning there is the general coach or the general entrepreneur versus, let's say, a Facebook coach. When you're injured or you're, having an issue, we love to go to specialists. If you have an ear injury or you have an eye problem, you go to an eye doctor. You don't go to a general doctor. And the same thing is in business. Think of the times when you invested into a mentor or into someone. Why did you invest into them? Probably because you had trust. You could see they will help you with results, and they were maybe specialized in something that they can help you with. And when they are specialized, we have more trust. So you don't have to solve in business 1,000 problems. And this is something that I see. You can do probably many things. I know that you are skilled, you have multiple gifts. And when you're multi-passionate like me, you want to help everyone and everything. But it's not going to be efficient in the beginning. So pick a skill or a problem, just one. It doesn't have to be even 3. And start from there to be specialized in that thing and be really good at it. Like double down on the things that you're good at it and that works. Again, Facebook coach or the general coach. You do the same thing in your industry. Number 2 is undervaluing your services. And this is a very funny thing. When you're so good in what you do, for you, it's normal that you're good in that. You know what I mean? Like when you're really good in content creation or you're really good in your business, like, I don't know, you're teaching people like fitness coaching or something, for you, it comes so natural. So even the basics for you is like, oh, it's not worth much. But for someone who has no clue from what you do in your industry, it's insane, the knowledge that you can put. So sometimes we actually don't value our own knowledge and expertise, which leads to no confidence in charging people for money. And the biggest struggle I had in the beginning was thinking that, who am I to charge money? I'm just starting out. I was like literally like 20 years old. And I was like, who would listen to a 20-year-old business coach and all of these things? And there were a lot of these limitations. But as I go, I really realized it's about the value that you can bring, and it's about the results that you can deliver, not your age, not your gender, not the things. And then as you go, so from the undervaluing services, we have people who do hourly rates, which is charging based on an hour. I do a fitness coaching and it's going to be $150. Or the better way and more scalable way is actually premium packages. This is where a lot of my clients went from zero to making their first 5 to 10 grand and further, because your skill, it can be packaged in a way what brings transformation. So what you can do is to reflect what type of maybe monetary results can people get with my service. And then another thing is, how does that impact their business, relationships, their health, and so on, and really write it down. And then from there, when you have the services, there is no right or wrong in the pricing. I think many people, they make their heads and they think too much about how should I price my services and market it. But it's like really focus on the delivery. How can you deliver faster? How can you deliver more efficiently? And what is the thing that they get out of it? And it doesn't have to be business coaching. I work with people who are in the field of helping couples, marriage couples, to be more healthy in their relationship, having better communication, right? So it's not a monetary thing attached, but long-term seen, it does have an impact also monetary. So it's more than that. And that's why I reflect and really write it down. Then apart from when you figure these things out and you do the pricing, it's really like you have to find a price that matches the value and that feels good for you. When you don't feel at all confident and it's your first literal time, you can start with charging a bit less. But I always say, again, you got to value what you got to offer. And you can really confidently put a price tag on because you went through a transformation or you got the skill. And then from there, when you have 1 or 2 clients more, you can always raise the price and then, deliver. So it's really about quality over just the quantity. Then the next thing is the outdated client attraction. So on LinkedIn, you maybe also see many people just pitch each other. They are sometimes just cold calling or writing you a bunch of messages. And I think most of us, we don't like it or we turn them down. But the reason why this doesn't work is because we're not building connection. And connection is key, even in the world of now AI. So manual marketing and just, generalizing, it doesn't work anymore. The thing that now works the best is having a clear digital online marketing strategy and focusing on building, advanced relationships. And when you do that, it's like it starts with the content. The reason why I am here today giving you this speech is because Dr. Bedkar, he discovered me through LinkedIn because of my content, right? And that's the same thing. I got invited 2 years ago from the CEO in Hyundai in Korea, South Korea. And I was thinking, insane, like, how did this happen? And he discovered an article of me that I did on branding. So the thing is, when you start with content, you really never know who is going to see you. And even Mr. President could see you, you just don't know. Like, you got to be open. And that's why I say, if you didn't start yet, don't judge, but start today with something small and having this digital online strategies. And after this masterclass, I can also drop you a free PDF where I break down on how you can get started if it's your first time online wanting to get clients as well. But I want to move now to point number 4, which is really important too. The last point, it's about systems. Most people have no systems in personal branding. And the thing is, when you have no systems in your business and even how to post online, you're just going to drain a lot of energy. Posting a lot, it does require some time sacrifice and energy, and you're going to feel overworked in business if you do hourly rates, if you're just going chasing clients after clients, and you're having like more of a hope marketing. Hope marketing is like hoping that you get clients in a random way. Maybe you get one, maybe you don't, and you don't know how to pay your bills. When you have system in place, you have more predictability. And when you are able to run the system, that is great, because if not, you're going to end up as, you become the system itself, and that's not sustainable. So the fastest way on how to get out of this and not to create for you a separate job is to get really clear that you want in your business. I know it sounds simple, but write down how are you right, and then when you look at write down what is it now versus another lane, write down what would the ideal day look like for me in business. You might just work 4 to 5 hours a day or even less. You can travel the world, but you know what type of activities are going to move the needle in your business, and that's more important. In content strategy, the system that I integrated is I have a clear system on what type of posts I make. So it's not just like posting in volume, which is also important, but it's like posting with a clear messaging and having a framework that works. So because I have that, it's easier for me to create it. For some people, it takes 3 hours to do it. I can do the same thing in 30 minutes because I have a system. And that's why that's important to systemize your process. And apart from all of these things, I told you the skill confusion. Be specific in what you do. Don't be the general entrepreneur. Be a specific entrepreneur in what you're good at. Number 2 was undervaluing your services. Turn inwards. What is your true gift? Don't discount on it. Business is not charity work. You can still be kind and help a lot of people, but business is business. And that is really important to understand. You can truly help people when they pay you and onboard them and transform. And number 3 is, instead of doing outdated client attraction, chasing people and annoying them, don't annoy them. Add value, build genuine connection, and make them to write you. It's better when people chase you, not you chase them. And number 4, have systems in place. Don't overwork yourself, but create your ideal day with how much money you would make and start to build a process that you can repeat. Not fancy, just simple. When you do that, you will be in a better place in your business in general and produce better content as well. And to the next point that I would like to share is the 2 mistakes that people are doing that keeps them away from attracting more. So one of these things is really not having a content strategy in place. The first thing that you can do now on LinkedIn is to ask yourself, what is your one goal? Many times when I go on these LinkedIn profiles, they have too many call to actions. They're saying, download my ebook, go to my masterclass, go to the website, direct and email me there and there. So people don't know what to do. So in your profile, what is the main thing right now in your business that you're prioritizing? Is it getting more inbound clients? You want to have more speaking gigs? Is it that you funnel them into a masterclass? Or you want people to download your ebook, so you want to grow your email list? Like, be specific. And then from there, have only one link. In your LinkedIn banner, you only put that one call to action saying, DM or message me grow to have a chat how I can help you out. DM me grow. Or you say, here's the link to my next masterclass. That's it. And then you keep repeating that. And the things to start is the 5-finger formula. I want you to take notes on that because I know it's a lot of information, but it's going to help you when you implement it. The 5-finger formula is, and this is something that helped a lot of my coaches and clients to scale to 6-7 figures, okay? So write it down. 1 system to get clients, 1 offer for 1 year. That's a 5-finger system. I'm going to repeat it again. So it's 1 target market you choose, 1 problem you solve for them, 1 system to get in the clients, like the master classes, or maybe it's a post, whatever that system is for you. Then 1 offer and the 1 year in consistency. Don't change it up because it takes time until strategies work. And every strategies can work when you tweak it and when you stay consistent. So the most important thing is that you build a way that works for you. and keep it simple. And when you start with that, you will be able to scale more. And as I mentioned, when it comes to content strategy, there are so much more I can share with you. So to keep it short and simple, I want to share you this formula. And for more, you can message me the word grow after this masterclass, and I'll be sharing you a freebie where you can integrate some things. Now, the last thing to wrap up this whole training, I wanted to also mention is the focus on the right things. Because as business owners, our work is never done. We know that, especially if you're like me, you're like super on fire and you have big ambitions, a big calling. The thing is, you feel pulled to multiple directions. And I can tell you and testify as a multi-passionate business owner, loving to speak, I love writing, I love to connect with people, I love to coach people. I had in the beginning the hard time to focus on the right things. So I'm going to share you 4 things that will help you to scale to 7 figures. The first thing is really content. As I mentioned, when you have great content, you attract more opportunities and clients. Number 2 is traffic. What can you do today that gets you more eyeballs on your offer? Because if people don't discover you, how will they even know? Like, visibility is your responsibility. Number 3 is messengers are you having per day? Because conversations, whether it's online or in person, these are the ones that lead to money. When you don't have conversation, means no money. So think about how can you get more inbound clients and get into convos. Number 4 is sales. Without sales, there is no business. By just focusing on these money-making tasks, you will be more able to scale. As you go, you have a fancy website, you have more branding, you can do paid ads, whatever that is. But if you don't have the foundation, everything else is for nothing, because again, paid ads or complicated stuff, it's just going to amplify on where you're at. So focus on first getting your first clients, deliver it to them, and repeat the process as well. And when you do that, it's going to help you to systemize the things as well and to do more in your free time, additional things. And again, the last thing of this masterclass and this training that I want you to take based on this information is really, you never have an income gap. You only have a skill gap. Always invest in yourself, in your skills, and you will never have financial pressure anymore. And no matter where you are, you can always get out of it, and your situation is always temporary. That's why we could embrace the good and the hard times. And also in business, the new currency in business right now is trust. People do business with you because you're a person, they trust you that they can get results for you. And you can do more live streams, for example. I do more videos, Q&As, because when I show up online, people can see me. They see, oh, I'm real. Like, she's not fake. I can ask questions. So you want to think about, what do my competitors and people don't do? And maybe they don't do lives. Maybe they don't do video content. And that's what you can do. Then again, when you do all these things as a personal brand, what you want to do is to always increase your credibility, authority, and your visibility in the market. And by focusing on this trinity of these 3 things, it's going to lead you to those exponential results. And to also, lastly, just to start today. Don't get into perfectionism mode, because it's better that you do something instantly than having delayed perfectionism. I know this is really bad thing. And you always have in mind, before I start, because you know that, like, how many times did you procrastinate on something? And you have to understand, why are you procrastinating? Is it a fear that you have? Is it because, oh, I don't have the right equipment? Oh, I'm not certified? You have to dump these things and start just with the little one thing today. So again, thank you so much. I hope that this training was insightful. I know it's a lot of information, but I want you to have these small wins, and most importantly, that you start today to implement the things that I've said. And when you are interested getting more, as I mentioned, the free PDF where I share the content strategy for free, you can DM me, message me after the LinkedIn event, the word grow, and I will send it free for you as well. And again, if you're also interested in working with me to grow your personal brand, and most importantly, I always say, the personal brand is not the outcome. People don't pay me to get personal branding. It's more that they have a more time efficiency in their business. They get consistent inbound clients, and they have a way better mind-blowing life. So we work very implementation-based. 90% implementation, and 10% of the knowledge. And usually it's like we have a kickoff call where I work in person with you for the next 2 hours, 3 hours to build out your whole business and your game plan. And stage 2 is I share business modules where you can learn on how you get all the things. Your $1 million offer, I help you with your messaging. You get your done over branding over one night that I do for you, and you get the whole system as well. And the third stage is I do customized leadership trainings with people. You know why many people don't succeed? It's because they go to coaches and they buy courses and programs and they are too general. And you know that when you start paying for something and you only watch half of the course, it's really bad and it's boring. So what we do is we work 90% implementation based, and for every client, there is a different training. You have to become the person that makes use of the strategy, because if you are not the main person that can do that, you cannot do the blueprints and all the other things. So we work on who you become in the process. So again, thank you so much, Petko, for this opportunity, and everyone for listening. Really appreciate you, and and I stay connected with you on LinkedIn.
Thank you, ma'am, for your detailed keynote address on the topic executive personal branding. You have cleared each and every aspect which is related with personal branding, and this will be very useful for all of us, the delegates and participants. So, thank you, ma'am. Now, I would like to invite questions from delegates and participants if you have. Please, question.
Very good evening, Ms. June. This is Dr. Badiuddin Ahmad from Hyderabad, India. Ms. June, good evening. And
hello, it's
hello.
Nice to meet you.
I'm calling from Hyderabad, India. It was a very inspiring story, yours, and really making a lot of mean to everybody, those who are hearing you. And what you said rightly, that we need to have the branding, personal branding. That's a great idea for all of us, whether we are into business, whether into academics, or anything. And you also mentioned a very important point, not undervaluing ourselves. That's excellent message you have given. And thank you so much for that. And let me also ask you, unless and until I, being an academician, if I do not expose, I do not get extrovert, so I cannot become a branded person. As you rightly mentioned, either in LinkedIn or any social media, I need to, without minding to my personal, all this, I need to make myself branded person in any field which I am expertise. But there are many people who are having everything with them, but they do not have that courage. They're not extrovert people. For them, what is your suggestion?
You mean like for people who don't have the courage to start with their brand?
Yeah, they have everything, but they are introvert. They are not very outspoken or extrovert people. They are introvert people. What do you say about them?
Yeah, so that's a great question. So for those who don't know me, I can send you like literally the way I started. I'm super introvert. Like now when I speak on stage, people are like, oh, you must be a natural extrovert, and it's something not true. So the way I did go about it is, when it comes to confidence, there is no other way to just do the things that you're most scared of. If sales or if creating your video is the thing that you're scared of, the way to get out of this is just to do it. Like there is just no other way. So what I did is start with doing doing a small video, and you can start there to share like 1 or 2 minutes about, let's say the first post that I did was my first badass moment. Badass is like where I was courageous. Think of something in your life that you could conquer, maybe a hard time, maybe a loss that you had, maybe a win, whatever it is, something that you're really proud of, and share your top proudest moments, the top 3 badass moments of your life. So I did a video on that, and that was nothing business related. It was just me starting out. Hey, what's up, guys? My name is Ausa. My first badass moment was I dropped out from university, and then I started my entrepreneurship. My badass moment, is when I first time graduated from school. I did this and this. Like whatever the thing is, Like, you got to start there. And also, as an introvert, I always say it's okay and it's your power to be an introvert. Like, it's same like me. I go to business events and networking things, and I can choose now to be a bit more extroverted and make connections, but I don't have to fake things. It's just like turning more towards your audience, because if you focus on yourself, you are shy. You're going to hide yourself in the room and you're not going to post because you are scared that it's not going to be good enough. But what I did when I spoke my story at Kensington Palace, about rape and abuse, it's a heavy topic, is I turned the selfie stick not to me but to the audience, and thinking, okay, who are the people that need to hear my message? Because you telling your story, it can change someone's whole destiny. So if you don't make yourself visible, there are people, they're going to die, they are waiting for your help. So to your question back, it's really about turn the focus to your audience. What do they need to hear? Don't focus on the haters or criticism, or like when you get hate, you're doing something right. So go ahead with that. And as a best content creator and personal brand, you will always get some critiques, but this is the point. Like, you're doing it for the right people, not to please everyone. And also, lastly, I want to mention, no matter if you are here a coach, a business owner, a mom, or a dad, or employed, personal branding is crucial for us all. I just work with a mom, and you never know to what it leads. Even if you're in a corporate, right? Like, people stalk you, they're going to Google you. So you want to have a good impression. So you don't necessarily have to be an entrepreneur to rock your personal branding. It can be good in general for your career as well. So I hope this answers the question.
Exactly. But one small submission for this, we need to have good soft skill, aptitude, good communication skill. And you're having everything, but not able to express your ideas, express yourself. Then it is difficult person to be branded person, a brand personality.
Yeah, you mean like how to express better in communication?
Exactly.
Yes. So obviously, I mean, doing that, it requires a lot of practice. You're not going to be overnight just, the best communicator. But, when you do the little things, as I mentioned, like you start with one video, and that can be like small thing, sharing, I always say, write yourself a question down. For example, how do you help people? It's only one question. Or what makes your service different? One question. What is one industry belief that you have that many people in your industry think different? You see, when you have this one question, it means for each content piece, you have one goal. What people many times try to do is they try to put in too many things in one post, and it's going to confuse people. So the best ability in communication is to know what is the main key takeaway that you want that the audience have. What is that one goal? Not 2, 3, 4 goals, just one goal. I make one video and it gives you 2 tips on how you can monetize. What is that one video? Maybe the value is a feeling, right? Like, sometimes the audience, it feels empowered, and it can be through a certain motivation or story that you share. But again, it's one goal. And when you come with every day with that one goal, one belief shift, one transformation post. I share my story and my lessons. Another post is one authority post. I was at Samsung headquarters and I've learned from the CEO these 2 things that you can integrate. If you need help, again, message me or DM me, whatever it is. You see, every post has one goal, and this is how you learn how to be more effective. Don't fluff things, keep it concise, keep it to the point, and then from there start to share. And as you go, you will improve. And if you want even a better communication and things, you got to learn copywriting. So for those who don't know, copywriting is closing in print. And it's always, I have here a coffee latte, and chai latte, or even this bottle. Everywhere you see, they have these texts, right? This is copywriting. This is all advertisement, whether you go to TV advertisement. So when you learn copywriting, how to write ways that people click on the things, like, you're going to attract way more people and your communication skills going to get better. So again, if you want the free ebook, I actually also have the ebook on copywriting. Message me. I'm going to share you the content strategy and the ebook for copywriting, so you can get ahead in your content and branding as well.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much. It was very excellent.
Do you guys have any other questions?
Hello. Good evening, Dr. Bedkar sir, Principal sir. Good evening, ma'am. Wonderful, very wonderful presentation and very new subject for me. And I'm having a very little information about this. What we can say that when we are talking about the executive personal branding, it is related with the clarity, consistency, content, connection, and confidence. These are the elements usually we are going with. And very important thing what I want to ask, I want to add one more. What about the continual improvement, in our own thinking and even in education? So that is one question. How it will help, and should we maintain our own identity and individuality in our business so we can have our own, we can focus and we are more, particular about our business strategy and we are not following others. So what do you think about this? Please comment, ma'am. Thank you.
Yes, thank you so much for the question. So the first thing you ask about the continuous improvement in our mindset and how we show up. So the way I personally done it, I think it's really about reflecting on right now in your life, who are the top people that you spend the most time with. Obviously, the first thing is like having a mentor, right? Like you work and learn from someone who has done it before. So you hire a mentor and learn from them. And when you hire a mentor, what I did, it's not just the learnings. It's like you learn their thinking process, you learn their behaviors, you can conclude behavioral patterns, and it will in close proximity affect you whether or not you want it. And also what I did is, it sounds hardcore, but when I up-leveled in my life, I started to outgrow certain people. It can be sometimes your friends or family, and they sometimes don't support you. It's a very funny thing. It's sometimes strangers to support you more. So that's why be around winners, people who want to see you win. So right now on your WhatsApp or messengers on Facebook, who are the top 5 people in your messengers? And think about it. How do these friends impact you financially, mentally, spiritually, and emotionally? And if they have more minus points, liabilities, like you got to set boundaries, restrict them. In my own family, sometimes in the beginning, although I love my mom didn't believe in my entrepreneurial things in the beginning. You know that it's like when you don't make money, people are saying, go get a job. Is your business working out? And you start to have a lot of self-doubts. So what I had to do is just to shut up this type of noise and say, Mom, I love you. I'm going to come and see you on the weekends. Or I'm going to tell her, you know what, Mom, I know you think like that. I really enjoy what I do. And from there on, I had to limit the boundary. And sometimes even it's hardcore, you got to drop people in your life that don't affect you good. It's just a thing, and maintain that standards. And then you have mindset work, like invest into mentorship, masterminds, courses, programs, find new friends they want to go really big in life, similar to you, and exchange that. And this is how you learn daily the skills. And I think the last question, could you repeat the last question, please?
My last question was, what about our own identity and individuality? Many of the time we try to mimic other people, and we lost our own identity, and that branding is lost somewhere. So how we can improve our individuality, and with the competitive drive, how we can exist? Thank you.
Yeah. That's a great one. So in terms of identity, right now, personal branding, it seems like a trend. Everyone is speaking about it and you see it a lot. But the thing is, as we mentioned, what is important is while you have a mentor that can share you frameworks and strategies, you have to think of your own trademark. Trademark is how people remember you. It could be the way you speak, right? Like you have some people, famous people, whenever they show up in videos, you remember them because maybe they have a way they do their introduction saying, hey, what's up, guys? Or they say a quote, or the outro where they remember, or they wear specific clothes. It could be like a specific necktie. I know people that wear, for some reason, specific branding clothes, and this is how they show up. And right, like trademark is more than the aesthetics. It's the feeling that you give to people. You got to think about when you show up, what's the energy of your branding and the energy that you want to spread. So for me, it's like, I want that my content is empowering. I want that my content is deep, contextual. I love to be controversial sometimes. So people realize, oh, she's empowering, she's funny, she has, she's professional in what she does. There is an energy behind your content. So that's how people remember you. And also another thing is my trademark on how I sell often is through master classes. And I always say, like, the Super Bowl, people remember Super Bowl is so big and there are concerts, performances, and people remember that. I think my business as my own Super Bowl, and I think, okay, I love to speak to people. Maybe some people don't like speaking, they love to write more. Whatever you're good at, like choose a thing, and then you can say, I usually sell my course on the masterclass, I give trainings, I make an offer, and so on. And when you have something that you stand for, it could be something that you find unfair, something that you're not happy about. And I think those bold opinions, those bold beliefs, they matter a lot. So just share it and stand for what you want to leverage for, and more than just what you do. I think the purpose, the mission that you want to do in life, it's more about not what you do, but who you are while doing it. And this is what creates the identity. So I hope this helps.
Thank you, ma'am. Really, you are having a great power of expressing the things, and you are hitting the right place. Thank you very much, and I like that. Many people talk about values, principles, and they are, but you are working with the consultancy where you are helping them in implementation 90%. Thank you very much, ma'am. All the best. Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you. And if you have any other questions, feel free to text me on LinkedIn and I can help you out.
Definitely, ma'am. Thank you.
Is there anybody else having any question, please? I think now there is not any question from anybody. The keynote address was very detailed. Dr. Badiuddin sir and Dr. Swanand Shukla sir asked questions, because of which lot of information is added through the discussion and answers by the honorable speaker. So after this very fruitful and meaningful question answer session, I think Dr. Anju ma'am is not online. So I would like to invite Honorable Principal Dr. M. Bedkar sir for his closing remarks. Please, sir.
Thank you so much, everyone. So as you mentioned, I'm very multi-passionate woman. So I learned how I can infuse my artistic skills with my political and diplomacy skills, because for me, it's really not just, as I mentioned, I cannot limit my things into like, I'm just a business mentor. We're more than that. Like, you're a mom, dad, you're a great boyfriend, partner, husband, wife, like whatever you are, like we are so many things. So I always say, from these things, if you're also into women empowerment and you know someone who went through abuse, toxic relationship and things, this is something that I also educate people about. I have a separate Instagram on that as well, Women Power Leaders. And I also have a top 50 mental health podcast, because again, the mental health and our mindset, it matters so much in business, perhaps even more than all the strategies, because you have to nervous system regulation, all of that. So I even have my own podcast that you can check out and be also a guest if you have an incredible story that you want to share and your lessons to be on it. And then in terms of all things business, again, the monetization, making more money, freeing up your time, whether you're starting out or more advanced, just text me and I will qualify you with 3 main questions I have. And based on that, I can tell you what would be the best options. So I have high end where people obviously invest bigger amounts in me to work exclusively, but I also have other programs where it's pre-recorded, or you can start with smaller things and have your small wins. So there are different programs I run. So just text me and I can assign to you, like allocate you what's going to be the best option for your situation as well. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Now, vote of thanks. First of all, I would like to extend my sincere gratitude for Honorable Chief Guest Ma'am Ozzin June from Zurich, Switzerland. Ma'am, you have accepted the invitation of our college and graced us with an elaborate lecture on the topic Executive Personal Branding. It was very useful for all of us to boost our confidence and to grow in our personal careers. So, for sparing your precious time and valuable thoughts for us on behalf of the organizing committee, I am very thankful and grateful to you. I also thank the chief organizer, Honorable Principal Dr. M. Bedkar, sir, for his ceaseless efforts to run the webinar series and national and international conferences, and for providing a global stage for the intellectuals and students. Thank you, sir. I also thank all active delegates for their questions and for their discussion, because of which new knowledge is added to us. I thank all the delegates and participants for their continuous support for this innovative activity of webinar series and international conferences. I hope the same cooperation even in future. And I request all the participants, please fill feedback link so that you can have your certificate. And with the kind permission of the chairperson, here I declare that today's international conference is over. Thanks to all. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Ozzin. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
सर अभी का फीडबैक लिंक सर सेंड कर दीजिए। मेरे मोबाइल में कुछ समस्या है के कारण मैं बाहर हो जा रहा हूँ।